Everyone, it's Mr. Aarons. Today we're going to be going over the study guide. I'll do about 12 problems with you, and then I'll let you send it off. Do the rest on your own. For the study guide, it's pretty lengthy, so if you're feeling confident on a section, I don't need you to do every single problem. Just hit what you know that you need to. So we'll jump right in here. All right, the first thing we're looking at here are inequalities. We're going to solve these just like we would equations. There's a few special rules. Our one thing that we got to make sure we're checking in on is our sign switch. We'll do our sign switch, or we'll switch signs whenever we divide or multiply by a negative number. It's important to note that it's about when we are choosing to do it rather than if it's already there. You'll see an example of that on this first one. Number 5, how do we get h by itself? We're going to divide each side by 9. Notice we divided by 9, which is a positive number. Even though we did negative 108 divided by 9, we chose a positive number, so we don't have to switch the sign. It's going to become h. It's greater than. I know that's greater than because I hold up an L. It goes opposite way of that. And that should be a 12. Now we should get here, and that's going to be a negative because we have negative divided by positive. Final answer. Looking at 8, we have x divided by negative 2 is greater than 7. To get x all by itself, we're going to multiply each side by negative 2. Notice we're multiplying by a negative. So here we would need to do that sign switch. I'm going to flip that right there. And we'll get negative 14 over here. Flip that sign, and we're good to go. Oh, I'm sorry, I cut you off there a little bit. X is less than negative 14. There's that sign switch right there. And moving on to the bottom. State whether each number is a solution of the given inequality. Show our work. So here, pretty simple idea. What we do is we take these different solutions, we plug them in for x, we see if it's true or false. So let's start. We got 5. I'm going to write these all out. 5, the first one should be 5. 2 times negative 2 minus 8. Okay, thinking PEMDAs here. I'm going to start with these. It's going to be negative 4 minus 8. We're still in our parentheses. Negative 4 minus 8. It's going to be negative 12. 5 times negative 12. That's going to be 7. 5 times negative 12. Negative 60 is greater than or equal to 7. That is not true. Our first one would be no. Second one, we're going to plug in 4.5. So we got something like this. Start with this. We're starting with our PEMDAs. That's going to be 9 minus 8 equals 1. So we have 5 times 1. 5 is also not greater than 7. This one is not true either. Our next one, we're going to plug in 6. It's going to be 12 minus 8 is going to be 4. 5 times 4 greater than or equal to 7. 20 is greater than or equal to 7. This one is a yes. And our last one, 0, we're going to plug that one in. I'm just plugging these all in for x, notice. And I'm following my PEMDA rules. That's going to be 0 minus 8. It's going to be 8. That's going to be negative 40, greater than or equal to 7. That is also a no. So I plugged all those in, saw if they worked, saw if they made sense, and you'll get yes or no answers for all of those. On to number 14, we'll be graphing our inequalities here. We got a few things to pay attention to. Open dots, closed dots. If you need a quick refresher of that, our open dots go with these. Closed dots go with these. You can think about the closed dots as it includes those. The open dots, it does not include those. So we got x is, how would I say this out loud? I'm thinking makes an L. X is less than or equal to 3.5. On here, I'm just going to jot 3.5 right here. We'll go 4.5 over here, 2.5 over here. I know my dot is going to be on 3.5. I know it's going to be closed. My last step is to figure out which direction it goes. Here's where I like to take it slow. X is less than or equal to 3.5. X is smaller than 3.5. Done deal. We'll do a couple more graphs later on if you're still struggling with these a little bit. Number 17, define a variable and write an inequality for each situation. We have no more than 220 or 425 tickets to a musical will be sold. My variable, I'm going to use T equals tickets. Find my variable. So we know no more than 425 tickets, will be sold. I know that there could be less than 425 tickets. So I know T either has to be less than or equal to 425. I know there can be less tickets than 425, but no more. And there could be exactly 425. You got to take these ones slow, think about them, say them out loud. That's the biggest thing. Moving on to the back side here, 21. These three in a row, I think, are the hardest ones on your tests and quizzes. These word problems that have you set them up. All-room class with 25 students is holding a fundraiser to support school sports. Their goal is to raise at least $200. On average, how much does each student need to contribute to meet or exceed their goal? So we know that their goal is 200, so I'm going to put that on one side. I'm going to write M equals money. So if we have 25 students, they all need to raise a certain amount of money. So I'm going to put on this side 25 times M. So each student needs to earn a certain amount of money to get to 200. They can have more than 200, but they cannot have less than 200. So we want 200 is smaller than what this amount is. We want this amount to be bigger than 200. So it's going to be 200 is less than or equal to 25M. Take those ones slow, say them out loud, set those ones up if you need to. From here, our last step, solve, divide each side by 25. 200 divided by 25 is going to be 8. So we now know each student needs about $8 to meet or exceed their goal. Okay. Moving on to 25. We're solving each inequality. We can do these ones using those same rules, paying attention to those sign switches. So right here, I'm trying to get z by itself. I have negative 4 plus z equals negative 12. How am I going to undo a negative 4? I'm going to undo it with a positive 4. Easy peasy. Cancel those out. Negative 12 plus 4 is going to be negative 8. I didn't divide or multiply by a negative, and I am done. These ones should be a breeze for you if you're struggling with these ones. Make sure you're really watching those lessons, going back, reviewing. All right, this one's a little bit of a review of some stuff we've done a while back. We've got this fraction here. There's a few different ways you can do this. We have to get x by itself. My favorite way to undo this is to use the reciprocal. Remember, we're thinking our reciprocal is these flipped flops, so watch this. Multiply whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. Right here, 4 times 3 is 12. Over 3 times 4 is 12. 12 over 12 is the same as 1. So we have 1x greater than or equal to, I'm going to make this into a fraction on this side. That's going to become 40 over 3. And there's our final answer. We didn't divide or multiply by negative. Done deal. Use that reciprocal when you have those fractions like that. Great simple way to cancel those out. Keep chugging along here. 37. We have 5b minus 4 is greater than negative 29. I'm going to take the first step here, get rid of this 4 just because that looks easy to me. I'm going to get 5b. It's greater than, add 4 to negative 29. It's going to move towards positives. Divide each side by 5 to get b by itself. We divided by a positive, so we don't have to flip the sign. There we go. Number 41. two more. We're writing an inequality and we're solving it. We have two more than the number is less than 11. So I'm thinking two more than a number. I'm going to use n as my variable. N plus 2, that'd be two more than a number, is less than, I know that's going to go that way because it makes the L 11. Simple solving step here. Oops, wow. There we go. On to 49. We're graphing and have a little bit of extra work here. These are some of the toughest ones on these quiz and study guide as well. Our first step here is going to be to simplify this. From there, we're going to graph it. We have a lot sitting on this side. We got to simplify first. My first step, I'm going to do that multiplication. Follow those PEMDA rules. I can't do anything inside the parentheses. I have no exponents. So we got 4 times k is 4k plus 4 times 2, 8 minus 3k equals 12. Right away, I'm going to get rid of this 8 that's sitting in the middle because it's not attached to anything. And we're going to simplify that to 4k minus 3k is less than or equal to 4. 4k minus 3k, you're probably thinking that one in your head right now. We're going to get 1k. It's less than or equal to 4. K is less than or equal to 4. On our graph, I'm going to put 4 right in the middle, 5 up here, 3 right here. I know my dot is going to be closed because we have an equal to sign right here. Less than or equal to. I know it's going to be on 4. K is less than or equal to 4. K is smaller than 4. My arrow's pointing this way. I'm moving that way. I got one more for you here. All right, we got variables on both sides. A little tricky here. Keep taking it slow. Do those PEMDA steps. Start with this side. We're going to distribute that. 2 times 4w is going to become 8w. 2 times negative 3 is going to be negative 6. We're going to 8w minus 5 is greater than 8w minus 6. That makes sense to me. All right, let's keep simplifying it anyway. I want to get all the variables onto one side. So I'm going to do, what do I want to do here? I'm thinking I'm going to start by subtracting 8w from each side. Look at that. 8w minus 8w cancels out. 8w minus 8w cancels out. We now have negative 5 is greater than negative 6. Is this true? Yes, negative 5 is greater than negative 6. So what this means, this is a special occasion right here. We don't have any variables left. There's not really much to graph. So what this means is everything on the graph is true. You can also write this as all real numbers. This isn't going to happen a whole lot. But if you get to this point, you're like, wow, that makes sense. That's true. That means anything on the graph works. All real numbers. Don't let that trick you. All right, that's what I have for you today. Take these slow. Remember those sign switches. Crush this, crush that quiz tomorrow. Or actually in 2 days. All right, have a good rest of your day.